causes of air pollution in Australia are heavily debated by the media, with many believing that coal is directly to blame for the health and environmental impact associated with air pollutants, and others who believe the benefits of coal far outweigh the cost. Many studies have revealed the link between atmospheric pollutants and the burning of fossil fuels. These pollutants, specifically nitrogen dioxide, particulate matter, carbon monoxide, lead, and petrochemical oxidants, have an adverse effect on the overall air quality of a region. Australia has long been described as the little country destroying the planet, with Sydney and Melbourne's level of air pollutants being released into the atmosphere, each exceeding the NEPM standard levels by an average of 500%. In the article Invisible Killer, Need for Better Air Quality Standards is Urgent, authors David Shearman and Helen Redmond, who are founding members of Doctors for the Environment Australia, claim that the 3,000 Australian air pollution-related deaths per year are a direct result of the government's lack of monitoring standards. Many medical professionals agree with this stance, arguing that the coal industry is acting at the risk of the health of those in close proximity to mining operations, as the majority of pollutants released in the process of burning coal have been deemed carcinogenic when inhaled.
These pollutants have been attributed to the increased frequency of symptoms such as chest tightness, coughing, wheezing, eye and throat irritation, symptomatic asthma attacks, lung cancer, emphysema, respiratory tract infections, and cardiopulmonary diseases.
Shearman and Redmond state that at least half of all air pollution-related deaths are caused by microscopic particles from the combustion of coal for energy use, which could be easily prevented if environmental ministers recognise that their current monitoring standards are inadequate. We speak to Environmental Minister for Australia, Greg Hunt, about his side of the issue. Mr. Hunt, how important is it to tackle the issue of air quality control at this point in time?
Well, the Council of Australian Government, commonly known as COAG, have actually identified that air quality is a major policy issue for this country.
Is it true that there has been no contact between ministers to develop a solution?
Well, hang on. Last year, Australian environmental ministers met to identify how to approach priority air pollution issues as a basis for a national clean air agreement.
What projects are currently underway to reduce the impact of air pollution in Australia?
Independent government and New South Wales EPA-funded projects have been undertaken to examine the potential health and environmental risk of pollutants from mining activities.
Many environmental scientists, such as Melissa Haswell from UNSW's Environmental Health Sector, disagree.
We acknowledge that there are some monitoring standards in place. However, the government's reliance on the economic benefits of the coal industry means little is done about exceeding emissions. The coal industry is damaging the atmosphere through the release of gases and particulate matter, which makes up approximately 30% of greenhouse gas emissions.
Shearman and Redbank claim that the Australian coal industry has absolutely no economic value in the long-term future of Australia. With an export industry worth $55 billion each year and paying $4.4 billion in wages, this can't be true.
Black and brown coal contribute 56% and 23% of energy production respectively, helping Australian residents by providing one of the lowest energy costs in the world.
Although Australia ranks quite low on the list of countries worst affected by air pollution, our rate of emissions is increasing every year. So although we are still under the top most polluted countries, such as China and India, we're not far off.